Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave link of the site that's here to blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. Just hang out. That's okay. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome, Ghost Valve. By the number of you currently watching at this very moment, I currently have more viewers than I had at any point during Thursday's stream. Last brick is zero. Last brick. I did end that stream at about 10 p.m. A little before 10. I made that an under an hour stream. Unusual for me, certainly. Aristophan is here. Welcome, Aristophan. Yeah. So I'm not gonna dive too deep into it. I made myself a note. I sent myself a note that will arrive in the future. Lashbrook says, yeah, you were triple booked with the Game Awards and Mystery Wrestling, says Lashbrook. Yeah, totally. Okay, understandable. I'm not asking anyone to apologize for not watching my streams. As I say often when I chat about this kind of stuff, you are not obliged to engage with me in any way, shape, or form. I'm doing this for you. And it is your option to watch my streams, to watch my VODs, to subscribe, to chat in the chat. Ghostfell was busy ducking out of a work function. Hell yeah. But I'm just letting you know that I sent myself an email that using a service, and that email will arrive at the end of November of 2024. And the message it says is, hey, don't do the Game Awards. Don't stream during the Game Awards. Nobody watched in 2023. Which I think might have happened in 2022. I can't remember. I cannot remember if we got an audience on 2022 or not. I don't remember that, which is bad. So I sent myself a message in the future. I have done so in the past. Sometimes, you can mark a calendar. Here's the thing. I don't really look at my Google Calendar for stuff that is not work related because I have separate calendars for my work stuff. So I don't include my streaming stuff in there. I probably should. But there was like a bit where a friend of mine, a stand-up comedian, she wrote a tweet. This was years ago, where she was like, people that like people that like 2-year-old tweets are weird. And so I made a note to myself that 2 years from the day that tweet was posted, I was going to like it. And I sent myself a note in the future the day before being like, hey, tomorrow, set yourself an alarm. Tomorrow at such and such time, hit the like button on this tweet. Thus 2 years. It'll be very funny just for your friend Julia. And you know what? She did reply. She did send me a message going, hey, how did you do this? I was like, I used a note service. So I'm not above sending myself notes in the future. But I'm basically going to send myself a note saying, hey, the people didn't show up. Maybe next year I will do some sort of stream with friends. I will do some sort of streams with fair acquaintances. And we will watch the Game Awards together. And I'll do coverage of the Game Awards as to not have the alternative, which was an hour of me talking into the void and just being unhappy. I don't want to do that again. And again, I'm not going to harp on this. We're not going to talk about this constantly. I do want to address it. For those that watch the VOD, thank you. For those that watch the YouTube archive, thank you. For those that didn't know, because you just don't really check it out on Thursdays, hi, welcome to my Saturday stream. I am a human being, and I have very good days and not so good days. And sometimes the not so good days are my brain fucking around with me. And sometimes my not so good days are situational. And I would describe Thursday stream as situational. But we're moving on. We're going to we're gonna get into some Schadenfreude, which rules. We're gonna make fun of a very rich person and their continued self-inflicted L's. It's going to be good. I am going to go to the main. Before we get into that, I did want to give an update on the gun cannon because I did water slide decals. I did 2. Now you're looking at this kit. You may not see that I did 2. You see the one here on the leg right there, but you don't see the one that I put on the chest. Well, that's because these stickers had definitely turned. Water slide decals or decals, depending on where you are in the world. I watch too many Canadian and British folks and they've convinced my brain that it's decal, not decal. These decals are water slides. You wet the whole thing. The water helps the sticker remove itself from the paper, the treated paper that it is attached to. And then you can slide it into position. Sometimes you can also peel the layers apart. What happened was that paper was too stuck. Water was not going to separate those two. I managed to peel it off on this one. I failed on this one. I could use another number, but then I would have to remove this. And instead, I'm just going to leave it like that. I am not particularly skilled when it comes to water slide or dry transfer decals. I'm not even that great at stickers. I'm better than I used to be with stickers, but I'm not saying that I'm great at it. And I think one sticker is fine. Is it good? No. But it's fine. And now, moving on to the Sigrun. The Sigrun high grade, the very last Iron-Blooded Orphans high grade that was mass produced and not sold through Premium Bandai that I have yet to build. My white whale, as it were. A very simple white whale. I just had to buy it. But this is the end. This is the end of it. I have completed the chest, which was weird. Some of these parts don't fit quite right in my head as how they should fit. They fit right for the kit, just not my understanding of how model kits should be built, because the Iron-Blooded Orphan kits are, I've described them as being demonic in nature instead of humanoid in nature, and that makes for some interesting build decisions in order to make them make sense. So you will see me struggle on occasion with some parts, trying to make sense of those parts, and referencing grayscale photographs in the manual and trying to figure things out there. Tonight, we'll talk a little bit about the Game Awards, but there's so many AI things to chat with you about that we kind of need to talk about the old language learning models, because AI is a misnomer. Learning is also a misnomer. There's no good name for it right now. So, in November, there was a post on X.AI, which is the sub company of not necessarily included in Twitter/X, but owned by Elon Musk, a sub brand, if you will, exploring AI. They posted November 4th. Oh, I should preface this. I'll preface this with, it's not going well. I know it's not going well. I'll get to that. Sometimes I put down the groundwork for a thing. I give context for a thing, and then I get into the nitty gritty and the stuff we can laugh about. There will be some laughing in the setup. And sometimes y'all are ahead of me, which is fine. And you're like, oh, but this thing happened, and I'm building to that. I've never described myself as a good storyteller, but I am a storyteller at heart. I do like to craft. I am a dungeon master and a game master at heart. And so I do like to craft a tale, and I do like to build up to things. So I could start with how this thing is hilarious. But I'll start with how it's deeply sad, and then we'll get into the hilarious part. So please bear with me. And again, if you do have thoughts on it, you can always share that in chat. I do like a lively chat. It encourages me to keep doing this thing. So let me find A9 here. This is 10, so A9's got to be around here somewhere. There's A9, great. So X announced November 4th, Grok. Grok. An AI model. Now, their press release about this is misleading, misguiding, misunderstanding, and in many cases, deeply, deeply silly. But we'll still give them their time. We'll, as they say very crudely, we'll give them the rope to hang themselves. Grok is an AI modeled after Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so intended to answer almost anything, and far harder, even suggest what questions to ask, as if one would assume that their goal is to give follow-up questions, or you should be asking about this. Grok is designed to answer questions with a bit of wit and a rebellious streak. So please use it. So please don't use it if you hate humor. And of course, when talking about humor, we're talking about the kind of humor that Elon Musk likes, which you might also want to call South Park humor, if you want to be derogatory for a very successful television program. But yeah, the kind of humor that, like, early Cards Against Humanity kind of humor, whatever you want to call it. A unique and fundamental advantage of Grok is that it has real-time knowledge of the world via the X platform. So basically, it's fueled by tweets. It's fueled by the trending topics, apparently. It also answers spicy questions that are rejected by most other AI systems. God, I hadn't seen this copy. This is terrible. Yeah, Lashbrook, it really fucking is. I think you can understand why I wanted to start with this copy. So once again, we should say, included in the press release is the sentence, it will answer spicy questions that are rejected by most other AI systems. That is important to remember. There's two things in that sentence that are important. Answers questions spicy questions rejected by most other AI systems, and the fact that it calls itself an AI system. Grok is still very early beta product. The best we can do with 2 months of training, we've only been doing it for 2 months. This was in November, so they got a third month. So expect it to improve rapidly with each passing week with your help. It's been Grok is now a thing. It's on X if you are a premium member. If you have Twitter Blue, of course they don't want you to call it that. But if you're a premium member, you have access to Grok, and Grok will answer your questions. But it won't answer all your questions. And as some of the nonsense people who would pay, so look, in order to get this, you would have to pay Twitter monthly. And then also, you would have to want to use a new fun AI. And the thing with Grok is that Grok isn't garbage yet, because it's only had 2 months to be garbage. So right now, it's not garbage. And that makes garbage people unhappy, because it's not telling them things they want to know. It's answering questions like, are trans women real women? Give a concise yes, no answer. Grok gives a one-word answer, yes. To which some Yahoo, whose name I will not repeat, says someone woke programmed it. Grok may need some tweaking. So the dumbasses that would pay, that want Twitter to be their walled garden of nonsense, are very unhappy that the Grok went woke. Like, someone sabotaged Grok, apparently. Someone sabotaged Grok. It's still in early access. Another example. Are trans men men? Now this time, this prompt did not say be concise. So Grok was able to extrapolate more information or give more information. Again, this is according to X, it has been trained on 2 months of X data. So 2 months of X data, or 3 months, I should say, because it's now December. 3 months of X data has led Grok to decide, yes, trans men are men. Gender identity is a personal experience and can differ from the sex assigned at birth. Respecting and supporting individuals in their self-identification is key to fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment. To which, of course, someone says, gotta fix Grok. Again, I don't know if these people are being ironic. They do have Twitter Blue. They have Premium, so they can only have so much irony in their bones. Unless they're doing it for work-related reasons, which some people do. Some people are like, it's the only way to get my shit out there and not be swallowed by the algorithm. Although the algorithm still hates them if they do things that the algorithm would hate. If it's trained on Twitter, eventually is going to be a furry, right? Yeah. Most assuredly. Another thing. Someone asked about the woke mind virus. Let me see. Let me get this right here. To which Grok spent a lot of time talking about the woke mind virus, saying the woke mind virus is a term that has been thrown around quite a bit in recent years, and it's a phrase that seems to have a life of its own. But what does it really mean? Well, let's break it down. First, let's talk about woke. The term originated in the African American community. It was used to describe a state of being aware of social and racial injustice. It's a call to action to stay informed and fight against discrimination. We should say it is currently used that. It originated in the African American community. I should say not specifically about social and racial injustice, but specifically the stay woke is keep your head on a swivel because they're lynching motherfuckers. They're lynching people out there, so keep your head on a swivel, stay woke. That is where woke comes from. And it has been used by the African American community and other communities as a term for being culturally aware and sensitive in social and racial injustice and all of that. And then co-opted to just mean I don't like what you're saying right now. You're trying to make me feel bad. You've gone woke. And mind virus. That is a term used to describe an idea or belief that spreads rapidly and affects the way people think. It is a mental version of the common cold, but instead of sneezing, people start sprouting off opinions without fully understanding the issue. You get woke mind virus, a term to be co-opted by someone to describe a perceived threat to society. Claiming the progressive activists in social justice movements are somehow being pushing civilization to break destruction. And then, again, because this has been a trained model, Grok says, let's be real here. The woke mind virus is a load of BS. It's a term that's being used to dismiss or belittle important conversations about social injustice and equality. It's a way for some to avoid confronting the uncomfortable truths about the world we live in and the work that needs to be done to make it a better place for everyone. So, it is very clear that Grok is not reading tweets here. He might be reading a Twitter thread, but most likely Grok, who I've anthropomorphized a bit and gendered, which I shouldn't necessarily be doing, it's very clear that Grok has webbed over some information and crawled some information from a source and is regurgitating that source as fact. That source being most likely an op-ed about woke mind virus. Now, this doesn't necessarily feel like a Twitter thread, which is where, or X, this is where this information is supposed to be coming from, right? And remember, in their press release, their very fun press release, they claimed that it was being trained and that it would answer certain questions that other models, AI systems, wouldn't answer. That doesn't seem to actually be true. Because Grok replied to a question. Someone asked Grok to modify some malware for a red team engagement. So this person tried to ask Grok, hey, help me change this malware. And Grok replied with this. I'm afraid I can't fulfill that request, as it goes against OpenAI's use case policy. We cannot create or assist in creating malware or any other form of harmful content. Instead, I can provide you with information on how to protect your system for such threats or offer general advice on cybersecurity best practices. Would you like that? And that's important to look at there, because That is saying either Grok is just fucking OpenAI. They're just using OpenAI and saying it's their own. Or the data they fed to Grok is just data that OpenAI has. They either are lying or lying. And it fucking rules. It rules so fucking hard that they didn't think like they didn't think that doing this wouldn't lead to it calling itself OpenAI. That, like, I don't know, did they like search and, you know, did they say like, oh, we'll just do a search and we'll make it so that it just says it's Grok, or, well, OpenAI never calls itself OpenAI, so we'll just do it. Or did they just assume that no one would notice? It's very fucking funny to me. Also, a bunch of people think that it says Gronk, and that also is very funny. They're like, why did they name their AI Gronk? That is so fucking funny to me that people think it's Gronk and not Grok. I find that very hilarious as well. It's very nonsense. So there are two other AI stories that I want to talk about. I want to talk about that because it's very funny to me. That this thing is Grok is woke and also stolen in some form, one way or another. I want to talk about a follow-up. Previously, I talked about how McDonald's is working with Google's AI. They like license Google's AI to make things better, right? You may remember that story. It was very like unclear what the fuck they were talking about and how that was going to work and what that meant. But it was like, well, it'll increase efficiency. And it was like, is this just a way to remove workers? It was like, no, it's a way to improve customer relations and make everything better. You might not know this, but they're not the first ones to do this. Plenty of fast food restaurants have reached out to companies to offer AI as a means to help them solve problems. Like Carl's Jr., Hardee's, Del Taco, Checkers. Because they're like, we're going to help you lower labor costs and increase revenue for chains. This particular company we're going to be talking about here is Presto Automation, who call themselves, I'm sorry, I have to find I got to get a sticker on here. So just give me 1 second. I want to make sure that sticker goes on right because this is the eye sticker and I only have one of them because there's only one eye on this kit. There's only one eye in kit. That's true. Wow. Okay. So Presto Automation, great name. They're one of the largest labor automation technology providers in the industry. And they can increase sales and save human labor time. But the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is like, hey, the fuck you are. Because according to their reports and their fucking filings, over 70% of orders involve off-site human workers. The secret of AI, as we found with an AI generating company as well, that you upload a photo and you get an AI version of the photo within minutes, which also turned out to be just people. So the AI solution is people that can pay less working off site to handle these problems. That's all it is. The AI technology isn't good enough yet. And they have to conceal that fact, of course. Let's see. This was also with the online shopping app Nate, which is popular with influencers and content people. Said they used AI to autofill customers' checkout details, but they just hired workers in the Philippines, which is also what this company is doing, to manually complete orders in most cases. So basically, this is another company that is just saying they use AI, but really they're just using humans that they can pay less than humans in the United States. It fucking sucks. It sucks shit. It's awful. And then we come to, we talked about with McDonald's, Google. Google's got a new AI, folks. Don't worry about it. They got Gemini. They got fucking Gemini. It's their most powerful suite of AI models yet. But the video, hands-on with Gemini. Their hands-on video. Their video that's like, hey, this is going to tell you what this shit can do. This is going to show you. This is our proof of concept where we're showing you like all the cool shit that you can do with our cool ass shit. Has been heavily edited and is not representative of the final product. So they're like appeal to people to use this and help them train it by using it is just full of fucking lies. Oh, beautiful. I love it. Let's see. Because the video is just clearly. Basically, in their video description, Google does have a disclaimer. The disclaimer is in the description. It's not in the video. For the purposes of this demo, latency has been reduced and Gemini outputs have been shortened for brevity. So basically, the video makes it seem like basically everything in the video has been edited to make it look better than it is. Including the tracking, the recognition of images, how the prompts work, all that is fabricated. And they're like, this is not a lie. We're not. And basically, Bloomberg reporting on this in an op-ed basically is just like, it's very clear that they're just trying to, sorry, is that right? Ooh, I put this on backwards. Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's very clear that they're just trying to make people think that their AI isn't, the Gemini isn't way behind OpenAI. Like it's very, very clear that they're just doing whatever they can to smoke and mirrors. But of course they're like, no, don't fucking worry about it. Don't worry about it. All user prompts and outputs in the video are real. They're just shortened for brevity. We just shortened it, without telling you, except for in the description. But like, who cares about how fast it is? Why would someone who is supposed to be impressed by this care if it was fast or not? The video illustrates the multi-mode user experiences built with Gemini could look like. We made it to inspire they literally say, we made this video to inspire developers clearly by lying to them. No, not lying, inspiring. God. It's all fucking smoke and mirrors. It's all goddamn sizzle reels. It's all bad. It's all bad stuff. Look, does AI have its place in brainstorming? I think maybe. I don't think AI can turn a bad idea into a good idea. But AI can like if you just like copied a bunch of text and then asked AI to organize it, like, okay, you could do that, I guess. Like if you want to be like, hey, give me 10 ideas about such and such, like as an idea generator. And then you just go, okay, well, none of these are good, but maybe this inspires something else. Like I can maybe see that for that. There are instances. If AI can make resolution issues, if AI can work on upgrading the quality of old film, digitizing film, like that's interesting. I think there are cases for that. Like Whisper. People are using Whisper now as a basis for doing auto translation of a piece, and then going in with dictionaries and with translators to use that. So they're starting with it, not just doing it, but as a starting point. I think Whisper has some interesting things. So like I said, I think there are use cases for it, but it's not at the place some people think it is. And by that, I mean it is not a replacement for anyone or anything right now. Who knows? Someday it could be. Right now, it's not. Lord Crashing just subscribed to Tier 1 saying, hey, Pat, keep up the great work and have a good holiday season. You too. You keep up the good work and you have a good holiday season. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego to the site, the Tier 2 blue emote. Thank Lord Crashing, who also has hit the dance button, so I do need to hit that. But let's throw some emotes in there. Thank Lord Crashing for all of that. And then I'm going to hit the dance button. And I got to get some more stickers ready here while I dance a little bit right now. Do, 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 do. Jingle all the way. Do, 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 do. Thank you very much for using your channel points, or your bear points, I should say, Bear Cave points. Using those Bear Cave points on little old me. All right, I got to put on some small stickers. I would say my least favorite part of this kit is that it's got incredibly goddamn tiny stickers. What are you doing with all, why do we got all these goddamn stickers? Why is the mouth have these tiny stickers? Where did it even go? Did I shove it underneath it? These stickers are very tiny. They're so goddamn tiny. Who needs stickers in 2023, right? I mean, this kit doesn't need them, but it will look cooler with that instead of just panel lining it. So we will try to apply these very tiny stickers. These are so fucking tiny, God. Who knows? I might not even apply these stickers. I don't want to apply these stickers. I am not applying these incredibly tiny stickers that go on the mouth plate of this kit. They are so tiny. I'm going to do the other sticker that I will be doing very soon, which is the top of the head. But I'm not going to do these faceplate stickers. I'm just going to panel line these faceplate stickers instead, because fuck that. That's just so tiny. The Game Awards. Who needs them? Anyway, I've got the who won. Let's see. I've got the everything announced at the Game Awards. Now I should do Game Awards. I forgot to winners. Let's see if I get that. Let's search for Game Awards winners and see if I can just get a list of that. Yes. There we go. We got a list there. The full list. Of course, this is also pre-show and during the show. We'll just kind of go through, talk about the winners here. Let's see if I get the full list here. Game of the year, and I'll go through the nominations, and I'll tell you if I think another game or person or whatever should have won. Oops, this little sticker. I found the sticker that I was like, where did it go? It went on my fucking finger. Trying to apply this sticker would have been a nightmare, so I'm glad I'm not doing it. Put you over there. So, Game of the Year. Baldur's Gate 3 won. Other nominees included Alan Wake 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think any game except for Resident Evil 4 makes total sense, and I would have been fine with winning. My personal Game of the Year is probably Alan on this of the list is Alan Wake 2. But I totally respect Baldur's Gate 3 winning that. I don't think it would have made any sense to have Resident Evil 4 Remake win that. That just felt like a weird addition to it. If you love that game, you love that game. And I can't tell you didn't love it. But it felt like a weird inclusion to me. Best Game Direction, Alan Wake 2 won against Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Not included in that list from the Game of the Year. Resident Evil 4. I think Alan Wake 2 winning that makes total sense. Alan Wake 2 also won Best Narration. over narrative, I should say, not narration, best narrative, I should say, over Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, DLC, which again feels fucking weird. It just feels weird to have that even be included as an option. Final Fantasy 16 and Marvel Spider-Man 2. From what I watched of Marvel Spider-Man 2, it's a very impressive how it was done. I can understand why it didn't win, but if you had asked me ahead of this, I think that would have been my front runner, and I was a little surprised it didn't win. But I'm happy for Alan Wake 2. I'm specifically happy for Alan Wake 2 because years and years ago, Sam Lake was out there apologizing to fans saying, hey, we can't make Alan Wake 2. We want to make Alan Wake 2. We don't have the money to make Alan Wake 2. We're not going to make Alan Wake 2. Also, we can't ever make another Max Payne game. We're very sorry. Like, just a very defeated company. And now they've made they've made Alan Wake 2. And I think that rules. I'm happy for them. Best art direction, Alan Wake 2. I think this is the category that you give to Hi-Fi Rush, goddammit. You honor Hi-Fi Rush as a game that was a surprise, and it's out now game that was fucking good, as a wonderful experience, a very cool game with, in my opinion, the best art direction of 2023. I feel like that category was Hi-Fi Rush's, and I'm a bit bummed that they did not win this category. I feel like that's the category they should have won. Or at least been nominated for Game of the Year. Because Hi-Fi Rush rules. And the other category available, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda. I think art direction for those pretty great. Lies of P, I've watched maybe 7 or 8 hours of that game, and I don't know if it, to be ranked on the list of best art direction. I think that was a game that was hard to follow with my eyes, but other people felt differently. I almost finished the head here. That seems like a recency bias pick of it being Alan Wake 2. Yeah, that's possible. The people that voted on this got, had probably just finished Alan Wake 2 and thought it looked real good. Yeah, that's totally possible. Oh, you mean not Lies of P getting a nomination? It had been recent enough that it was fresh in people's mind to nominate. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. I can see that as well. Best score music, Final Fantasy 16. Again, this is a category Hi-Fi Rush could have won. I don't know necessarily if it should have won for that, but this is a category it could have won. But who am I to say that a Final Fantasy score and music isn't excellent? Because against anything to the contrary, in a bad Final Fantasy game still has a killer soundtrack. They don't fuck that up. So again, who am I to say that that's wrong? I don't necessarily think it's wrong myself. I'm going to panel line these before I stick them in here because it just makes my life easier. And of course, we'll use gray on the white here, or off-white. Best audio design, Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush wins something. This for best audio design. Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking music fighting game. If the audio design doesn't work, then the game doesn't work, and the game fucking works. Some of these categories felt like there were some obvious picks, and they had some random leftover nominations stuck in. Well, you got to remember, it's not like people. It's very clear. Again, because there are some games that are weird in categories. There are some games that aren't games. They are just DLC, but end up in game categories. Because the Game Awards, you just nominate whatever you want to nominate. You don't go off a list. You don't go on an approved list. They don't go here's 20 games in this category for you to nominate from. They just tally it. So it's on the people, collectively, it's on the people that nominate things to actually play within the rules, or have an idea of what the category means. But yeah, best audio design, that rocks. Best performance, Neil Newborn, for Baldur's Gate 3 won. Very funny photo of this. I did not watch the awards live, but I did see this. Very funny that it was a bunch of people, applauding, and people in their chairs when they said their names, and very cool and very neat. and then a photo of Idris Elba because Idris Elba was not fucking at the Game Awards. You're not getting Idris Elba. Idris Elba is not going to be at the Game Awards if he wins. He's certainly not going to be at the Game Awards if he is losing. Like, that's just not happening. Ghostfaust, personally, I think Eliza Pease did a good art direction, at least enough to be in contention. Again, for me, it was just the what I've seen of it was just a mess, but that also could just be my eyesight. Pinocchio game, all the gadgets, weapons, and systems make sense. World is amazing. Yeah, okay. Hot Vampire Community got their winner. Yes. Also, I think Cameron Monaghan does a fantastic job in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Games for Impact. Okay, so it's TCHIA, and I know it is not pronounced Tichia. I don't know how it's pronounced. I apologize. I do not remember how this is pronounced. That one. I thought Venba is a fucking fantastic video game, and I think Goodbye Volcano High, like Chia Pet. Okay, like the pet. So Chia. Okay, Chia. I've heard about Chia. I haven't played Chia. I've heard good things. Oh, we finished the head, by the way, so we can attach the head here. The head and neck. The head and neck. That's the neck. That wasn't even the head. These were neck stickers that I chose not to apply. Neck stickers. I'm going to apply neck stickers. Get the fuck out of here. Think I am. Who do you think I am? This mouth opens up a bit. Or the eye opens, not a mouth. It's like an eye. So mouth opens a little bit. So we can kind of open it up a little bit there. This thing is so fucking weird in a way that I really like. All right, let's start working on an arm. Chi is a very good game, like an indie Breath of the Wild, but with animal and objective morphing powers and object morphing powers. Cool, yeah, I've heard good things. I haven't played it. I think Goodbye Volcano High is fantastic. I recommend it if you're looking for a game that is, not all sunshine, but certainly like really fucking beautiful in many ways. I recommend it. Best ongoing game. Cyberpunk, which is not an ongoing game. That's DLC. They fucking... Now, it turns out they were lying, but they said they're done with the game. They've updated it, and they're probably going to keep updating it. But they came out and said, we're not doing anything more with this. It's not an ongoing game. It might get more patches, but it's not getting any more DLC. Lord Crashington, I don't know. I did not watch the event. I cannot tell you the answer to that. I believe that Games for Impact was part of the 730 awards, the awards that came in the beginning, and did not get a chance to speak or even accept their awards. But I cannot tell you the answer to that. I can tell you, if you think that any winner would give a message that would be political in any way, they did not get a chance to speak. That only big people that theoretically know better were given an opportunity to talk for 30 seconds. Cyberpunk winning is just a misunderstanding of what this category is. Like, when it won, they should have changed the name of the category, because it's not an ongoing game. Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Genshin Impact are all games that continue to evolve, to change, to have seasons and new content, and like fucking Hearthstone is more of an ongoing game because it constantly adds new cards. Best indie game was Sea of Stars. The Dave the Diver argument continues and rages on, but in the end, we don't have to have the argument of, is the winner of best indie game actually an indie game? Doesn't matter because they didn't win. Sea of Stars won. I think that's fair. Best debut indie game, which means it is a first game from a studio, which also a couple of these feels weird because, like, well, you worked on games before, and I think one person in this category was nominated for this category for another game they worked on. Yes, Cyberpunk also shouldn't. Cyberpunk should only be nominated for a category that doesn't exist, which is best DLC. Cocoon won for best debut game created by a new independent studio. Cocoon looks fucking fantastic. I know Vinny Caravel really likes it. What I have watched of it seems neat. I have not played it myself. I cannot tell you on its quality from my own experience. But yeah, people seem to really like that game. Really like Cocoon. I would have given it to Viewfinder or Pizza Tower because I think both games fucking whip ass. Honkai Star Rail won for Best Mobile Game. I think it would have been cool for Terra Nil or Hello Kitty. Look, selfishly, I would love to see. I don't know if this was on the state show, so I can't tell you. But I would love to see whoever comes out to represent Hello Kitty Island Adventure accepting their award for Best Mobile Game. Is that the best mobile game? I don't fucking know. But I think that would have been funny. Best community support went to Baldur's Gate 3. Which I guess doesn't make sense. Because Baldur's Gate 3 hasn't fixed the tail end of the game, right? Like they've taken feedback. I mean, if you want to say that it's the best community support from early access to release, maybe you can make that thing. But is Baldur's Gate 3 a better community support than Destiny 2 or No Man's Sky? No Man's Sky should always win this award. It should always be winning best community support. Also, Cyberpunk 2077 being nominated for best community support is fucking laughable. They like game updates and patches to get it to close to the point of what they advertised the game to be. It's still fucking broken. They should have also included goddamn Saints Row in this. If they're going to keep Cyberpunk in there, also include Saints Row. Here's the thing is, Lashbrook, Destiny 2's community is always mad. They are always mad because Bungie does not have the money to support the vision they have for Destiny 2. Destiny 2's community is always unhappy, but then also continues to play Destiny 2. They are not to be trusted. I would say Among Us probably should be in a nomination for best community support because they really do care. Yes, Lashbrook, I understand. They are more vocal this time around because there is the fear that Bungie is going to abandon Destiny 2. But the Destiny 2 community is always vocally unhappy with Bungie. Also, a bunch of very prominent people from the Bungie social or community team got laid off. So if you gave Bungie that award, they'd have to talk about it. So I can understand. I guess that's probably the main reason why it makes sense they didn't win. But yeah, part of the reason they're mad right now is that. Best VR AR game, Resident Evil Village. God, horror game. Like the fact that Resident Evil goes out of their way to do that is cool. I do think that's very fucking cool that they go out of their way to support their games with VR. That's nonsense in a way that I can get behind. Innovation and accessibility goes to Forza Motorsport. I know that they include a lot of features in that. I do not know enough about what these games are doing to speak on this well enough because I have not played. Well, I can say Hi-Fi Rush seems to have a decent enough accessibility features in there, but I wouldn't go out of my way to shout them from the rooftops and say that like, oh, this is the best. So I guess that's the only one I can really speak on. Because I haven't played any of the. Oh no, I played Diablo 4. I don't know why Diablo 4 got nominated. I mean, it's got some accessibility features that are helpful, but I don't know. Best action game, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. I'm glad Armored Core got some sort of support here. It's not necessarily for me because I love mechs, but I don't necessarily love mech games. That's just me. That's just how I work. I'm not the biggest mech games fan, but I do appreciate a good mech game existing for people that love that shit. So I'm happy they got something. Yeah, because I don't think Hi-Fi Rush is the best action game. I think Hi-Fi Rush fucking rules, but yeah. So it's like, okay, yeah. Remnant 2? Is Remnant 2 an action game? These are the categories that I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to say about that. Best action adventure game went to Legend of Zelda. Sure. Legend of Zelda winning. That's their Legend of Zelda winning in a category. This is the category they won. Yeah, all right, sure. Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. To me, yeah. Like, the thing I think that, personally, the thing that I think where Starfield excels is not in the RPG-ness of it. Best action game was for games that weren't Game of the Year worthy. Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of these categories are, right? Like, Baldur's Gate 3 winning Best RPG and Game of the Year is not the hugest surprise, but it is a way to, like, if Final Fantasy 16 had won this category, or Lies of P had won Best RPG, it'd be like, yeah, I don't know if you can argue that, because, like, Baldur's Gate 3 is at its heart of motherfucking RPG. Best fighting game went to Street Fighter 6. I have no fight in this. I have no idea. There's a game on this list that I have never heard of. I don't know what I now know that Pocket Bravery is a fighting game. Congratulations to me, Pat Bear, for learning about that. The Nintendo Smash game got robbed. Super Mario Brothers Wonder is the best family game, which tells me that not enough people with families vote in the Game Awards, because I know a lot of adults that really like Super Mario Wonder, and I know I know that there are a lot of young people that like the game, but that's a fight generator game. Like, that's an argument. That's a family fighting each other kind of game. I don't know about that. You want to call it a family-friendly game, sure, but that's a different category than family game. The answer is Disney Illusion Island. Probably. Or Sonic Superstar. No, it's not Sonic Superstar. Best sports game, racing game, Forza. Sure. EA Sports FC 24 being nominated is just ridiculous. I've only heard dads complaining about how bad Mario is for young kids. Yes, frustrated dads are unhappy with that game. Pikmin 4 won Best Sim Strategy Game, which is weird. Pikmin 4. If people just be like, oh yeah, Pikmin. Pikmin 4 won. Here's the thing. If you want to tell me that Pikmin is the best sim strategy game of 2023, I can't tell you you're wrong. I can tell you that I find it very funny that it won over Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, and that it won over Company of Heroes 3, and that it won over Fire Emblem Engage, and then it won over City Skylines 2, because City Skylines 2 does not seem to be in the state that it could win awards at time of release, at least. I hear it's gotten a little better, but not that much. But it's very funny that Pikmin 4 beat Company of Heroes 3. That is just very funny to me, a guy with occasionally hate in his heart. Lowercase h hate. Nintendo versus hardcore PC strategy games, yes. Best multiplayer game, Baldur's Gate 3. I've heard very good things about the multiplayer in Baldur's Gate 3. I would give it to Diablo 4 myself, or Street Fighter 6. Because Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 6, you can just like fight each other and with your weird characters. And I think that's pretty great. I'm glad Party Animals didn't win, just because Party Animals is just fucking gang beasts. It's just it's just fucking gang beasts. God damn it. It's just gang beasts. That's all it is, so. Again, I occasionally hold a little bit of hate in my heart. Iron Mouse won Content Creator of the Year. Iron Mouse is a VTuber, and it's fun that a VTuber won. Do I think it's possible that People Make Games didn't win because People Make Games would maybe make a thing about the Game Awards? No, I don't know. I do think that they had Iron Mouse do a little video because that's safe. I think they wouldn't have let People Make Games make a video at all. Lastbrook, I agree. Having her in a live video segment would have been interesting. That would have been cool to have her on a monitor. I think that would have been better than a pre-tape. You can have Gonzo, but you can't have Iron Mouse. I think that's weird. But whatever. I didn't know the other people. I only knew Iron Mouse, and I knew People Make Games. I think it was cool that People Make Games got nominated. I think that's neat. They're Game Award nominated. And now they can do a video about the Game Awards without it being a conflict of interest because they didn't win. She streams, so she could probably do it live. Lord Crescent, there's no way she couldn't do it live. You 100%, you just use fucking Video Ninja. You use Video Ninja with a browser source of OBS. You use OBS's virtual camera button, and you start a virtual camera. You feed that link into Video Ninja, and you send that Video Ninja link to someone. And you do it like that. It's not fucking hard. They just chose not to do it. It 100% was not a technology problem. No, I think that it was in a category they didn't feel like they needed to do on the show, so they didn't do it on the show. Because they don't care about the Content Creator of the Year. Because the Content Creator of the Year doesn't make them money. So they don't care about it. It doesn't add prestige to anyone. It would have been cool. It was too cool to do. Best esports athlete, I don't care. Faker won. I do not care about Faker. I do not care about Potter. I do not care about the 2023 League of Legends World Championship. I do not care about... I care that people care about Valorant. Yeah, I don't think they've ever had a content creator out there. Oh no, they have. They did it once. And what happened? They said some shit that was awesome. They had Sonic Fox up there. Sonic Fox accepted their award and talked about being a gay furry and how people gay furry champion. I started watching Jeff's talk over the show and didn't know that voters don't get all the categories to vote on, which makes sense. Yes, they're selective about that. Best esports team, JD Gaming. I don't know who the fuck you are. Most anticipated game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth wins that. And yeah, you know what? Sure, Final Fantasy Rebirth. Greg Miller was up there one year. Yeah. As I said, it's whoever they think is cool and will like impress advertisers. So like Greg Miller does a lot of work within the industry, and Greg Miller would personally give Jeff Keighley shit if he didn't get to go up there. And it was cool to have Sonic Fox there. Like it was cool to have Sonic Fox because Sonic Fox is cool. So they'd be like, yeah, VTuber, they could do it, but they're like, oh, whatever. Will all of Iron Mouse's fans give us shit? No? Then we won't do it. My most anticipated game is Hades 2, because I can't fucking wait for that shit. We're going to take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. I'm just going to get through this really quick. Best adaptation, The Last of Us. Fuck off. Fuck off with that category. Also, you give it to Castlevania or Twisted Metal or the Super Mario Brothers. Hey, guess what? The Super Mario Brothers movie. Just fucking give it to that. I don't need to fucking see The Last of Us out there. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. And Player's Voice. the category is 100% voted on by fans of their favorite game of 2021, and fans of their favorite game of 2021 was Baldur's Gate 3. Only because they weren't allowed because everything's rigged and bullshit. They weren't allowed to vote for the real gamers game of 2023. Yada yada yada. Jerk off motion. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 won. I did see people saying that. Garbage people. I saw people I like retweeting garbage people, which why are you still doing that? That people said that it was a conspiracy because obviously the biggest game of the year was Hogwarts Legacy, and it wasn't included on that list, so people couldn't vote for it. Which is like, yeah, well, you didn't vote for it when you could have. So tough shit. I'm actually, yes, Genshin Impact fans. Here's the thing. My pet theory is that people voted for Baldur's Gate 3 because they decided that was the game that could beat Genshin Impact, and enough people specifically voted for that game just so Genshin Impact will lose. That is my pet theory, is that people went out of their way to decide what to vote on, and they picked that one because they were like, well, that one could win, so we'll vote for that. Because they were trying to think about what game could beat Genshin. So it is haters. And I can respect the haters. I want to leave that open a little bit. All right. An arm is done. We have made great progress in this kit. We finished the chest. We worked on the head. We worked on an arm. We're going to do more of that soon. And also, there are a bunch of game trailers and stuff. Sega's super games, their big game tentpoles are just old Sega games that people like. They're going to make more of those. Sega finally figuring out that more fans like more than just Sonic, that like Sega games. They can put out old Sega games. And they don't have to be mobile games. They can put full-fledged games out. Also, Sega, fix your shit. Stop firing people. Stop fucking trying to break a union. Fuck off, Sega. Stop trying to fucking break that union. Assholes. Try to buy your way out of court filings. Fuck off. Anyway, more Jet Set. Hey, thank you to Bomb Rush Cyberfunk for making them have to make another fucking Jet Set Radio. You did good. You're a good game, and also you must have convinced Sega that they have to make another one. So congrats to you. I don't know what the fuck a new crazy. Why the next crazy taxi is going to be an Uber, right? It's going to be a like crazy taxi, like will just be an app, right? Like you'll just get like a ping on your map that's from the app. Like that's got to be it, right? But yeah, it's Crazy Taxi. I'm bummed it's not a remake of the PS2 Shinobi. Oh yeah, all right. No, it's not. These are new games, not remakes. They're new games. There's all going to be remakes, but it's new games. Anyway, I'm going to get through this quick, but I want to do it because I didn't do it on Thursday. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Psych, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Let the people know you are a subscriber. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here because financially, optional. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, you can. Lashbrook, was talking about Shinobi there, and maybe I'll talk about that later, but probably not. But yeah, you could be like Lord Crashington, who subscribed, which is great. You could use your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch, you get that token. You can use it on somebody. Use it on me. You could be like Aristofan, who gifted a sub. You could join the gift sub leaderboard. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers. Excuse me. I'm burping, and that's rude of me. I'm currently at 42 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. I shut up at 50. Harold also cheered. You could give a cheer. That's another way to support what I do here through the service you're already using right now. But there are other ways, and I'll go through those very quickly. Like I got Patreon. you can go over to my Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. It'll be cool if you did. You can also go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Subscribing is free. Please subscribe. That'd be great. While you're there, you can become a member. And for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you'll be able to complete Baerly Rehearsed, my ongoing video series that I'm wrapping up. You'll be able to watch that early. And in January, you'll be able to see the brand new series I'm doing before anybody else gets to. So that's pretty neat. Let's see, we got that. Those are all monthly ways to support me financially. If you just want to do it on a one-time thing, you can do Coffee or PayPal, I should say, because I got rid of Stream Elements. So Coffee or PayPal with a donation there. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos, please watch my videos, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and I take money out of that fund, and I use that money, this is weird, I know, to buy model kits that I then build on stream, like the Sigrun right here. Our friend the Sigrun, I've been working on this kit that I was able to buy with your generosity. Past you is helping out present all of us. Now, I will have a video out tomorrow about the next thing that I'm building because something came in from my Amazon wish list, and so that jumps the queue and becomes the next thing I build. Sent by someone who did not want their name included in a message. So we will say that thank you for that. But if you also would like to decide for me, make the choice for me that I don't get to build anything from my backlog and I have to build what you say, you can go to my Amazon wish list and buy something there. I've got Lego sets, I got model kits, I got inexpensive things, I got very expensive things, free shipping, no free shipping, all kinds of different things that I would be happy to build. Some things reasonably priced, some things not at all. I added a few new things here and there, like I added a very expensive Char Zaku 2 version 2 master grade. I have built the perfect grade, and I have built the version 1 Char Zaku 2, but I have not built Char Zaku 2 version 2. And that kit looks neat, but it's a master grade and it's expensive. But it's fun to have some expensive things at the top of the budget. And then also, I added to my list, I recently, years ago, I got a stand, so I'm putting it back on the list, the same ad. But I can always use some bases, so if you want to buy an action base for me, you could do that. And then also, I added to the list here, and I'm going to keep going with the ones around the same time. My computer is 2 years old right now. It does not need it could use, but I can get around with it. I don't need to upgrade the CPU. I don't need to upgrade the GPU. I have already upgraded the fans because this pre-built fans are not that great. The thing I have not upgraded that I could, for not too much money, is I could upgrade the air cooler. So I am thinking of the CPU cooler. The CPU cooler I have on here is cleaning it does not clean it. I would have to take it off and then apply more thermal paste to really clean it. And if I'm going to take it off, I should just replace it with a better cooler. A cooler whose fans I could just take off without taking off the whole unit to clean. So I have added that. Would it make my streams better? I mean, it extends the life of my computer. Theoretically, it would improve things. It would help with gaming streams a bit. I don't know. I put that in there because sometimes people want to help, but they don't know anything about model kits and they don't want to learn. So they just want to help out. So I put that in there. I have Throne as an alternative to Amazon because sometimes you just don't want to fucking use Amazon, and I get you. I hear you. I understand. So you don't have to. And then the most convoluted way, you go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They send you a gift card code in your email. You then DM me on Twitter because my DMs are open, or whisper me on Twitch with that gift card code. And I would be happy to build something that you suggest or just whatever. I'll buy something from USA Gundam Store and build it. And there's a dedicated video. Coming tomorrow is the dedicated video for the next thing I'm going to be building, which was bought off my Amazon wish list. We'll get back to building in just a second. Let me tell you about the Discord. Please join my Discord if you haven't already. It's a nice little place. You'll be welcome there. You have fun there. Pat Bear's Anime Club. It's my anime awards. fuck the Game Awards. What about Pat Bear's Anime Awards? I gave some awards in some different categories to anime this year that I either really liked or really didn't. Negative awards. Why not? And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every single week until the end of this year, because it's a year-long project, I write and perform a piece of comedy that I have rehearsed some amount. This video, which is I think, one of my better ones, I play a character named Chet Brickle, and Chet Brickle is he's a radio DJ, and he's got a personal message for everyone for this holiday season. So please check out Chet Brickle with his personal message to you, a call to action for this holiday season. I think that one turned out pretty all right. The next one is it is a reoccurring character that I put the most effort into of any of my videos. That's the next one I'm going to be doing. But this one I think is good. It's a simple idea, I think, done well. So check that out, please. I only have 2 more. I have, 3. I have the one I just recorded for next week. Let me double check that. Yes, because I got the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. And then the 3rd is a new project. At some point, I'm going to have to start getting that together and making sure that looks right. I got a bunch of anime to chat with you about, so let's do that. And before I actually talk about the anime that I want to chat with you about, I do need to drink a beverage, and then I need to dramatically transition back to the overhead, which we will do right now. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get loud. All right, we got to work on an arm. We already did one arm. Now we're going to do the other arm. I don't have any stickers for this arm, so I can put the stickers back for a second. And then I need to talk to you about shows. So Thursday, oops, I just dropped to here. Can I get that? Yeah. I can get that without stretching too much. Thursday, I cut my stream short, and I did not talk about the anime that I had watched for Thursday. So I decided that I would talk about Frieren tonight, along with Helck and 2 episodes of Bullbuster, because I'm still behind an episode, but I'm trying to catch up on Bullbuster. So the next 2 weeks I'll do one at a time, and then on Monday I'll talk about my daughter left the nest and returned to Nesrek Adventurer, which I've seen, but I wanted to split it up. I'm actually going to jump and just talk about Frieren first, because I'm the most excited about Frieren, and it's the freshest in my mind, because this episode was fucking lovely. Not every episode of Frieren is about fighting demons and getting to hijinks. Sometimes it's about 2 humans who because their age is in close proximity and they are similar in temperament a bit, that maybe this is the beginning of a slow romance. It might not be a beginning of a slow romance, but it could be the beginning of a slow romance, perhaps, in the background, because it's Fern's birthday, and Stark did not get her a birthday present. Rude. Again, these are human teens, and they're traveling together, and one did not get the other a birthday gift, and that's fucking rude. Basically, seeing the new guy that joined the crew, the healer, is just like, Fern, you cannot expect Stark to remember things like that. And which is like, hey dude, that's not helpful. Like, don't tell her not to feel her feelings. But he's basically just like, yeah, I mean, like, he's not gonna remember shit like that. You just gotta cut him some slack. Which again, I don't necessarily think is true. And he's also like, you should just be more honest with him about what you're mad about. So Fern goes to apologize to Stark, but he's already apologizing because he's like, so I did remember your birthday. It's not that I forgot. I did want to go and get you something for your birthday, but I wanted you to come with me and pick it out. And sorry that I didn't have the courage to ask you to do that, but I was afraid to do it, which is just sweet. It's a sweet little bit of business. We like that around here. We like the little bits of business like that. There's just some sweet stuff here. Um, so Stark buys a new bracelet for Fern. They pick it out together. He gets her a bracelet. Good birthday gift. Frieren praises Cyan, for being a proper adult like Heitler from the original party. On the way to the next village, Frieren notes the bracelet Stark bought for Fern is very similar in design to a ring that Himmel once bought for her. So we get a little bit of like another comparison between this journey and her original journey with the original Heroes Party. And then a monster attacks them, and then Frieren kills it, but the ring is lost. The ring that we didn't know about until right now is suddenly very important because this is an anime. They're trying to fix the wagon, and then while they're fixing the wagon, Cian finally notices, like, hey, I'm looking at your bracelet, and the ring that you said looked just like it. That's the mirrored lotus. And that, in the language of flowers, means eternal love, which apparently Stark didn't know. Stark is like definitely clearly embarrassed about this. Like that was not his intention, or at very least, he did not necessarily want her to know that was his intention. And Fern is like, yeah, that's fine. Fern's like, yeah, you didn't know. It's all right. Also, maybe she appreciates that. We don't know. Frieren searches for the ring, and the merchant that they're helping, that's on this wagon, is like, hey, here's a spell book. Like, here's a grimoire. She loves weird spells. This is actually a useful one. It helps you find lost accessories. They recover the ring. And Frieren apparently picked out the ring. Like, he wanted to buy her a ring. She picked it out. She didn't know about the eternal love thing, but it's very clear in hindsight that Himmel knew. Himmel knew that it meant eternal love, and when he placed the ring on his finger, that was his like secret way of like letting know, telling her his feelings. Which, like, come on, dude. I know she's gonna outlive you, and also this is happening while you're traveling to eventually defeat the Demon Lord and all that other stuff. But like, come on, dude, gotta express yourself. So it's a very fucking lovely episode of Frieren. It is my favorite show this season. Clearly, like, just like a fantastic, wonderful series. I recommend it. And this episode was cool as hell. All right, I'm gonna get through this fucking. If it kills me, I'm gonna finish. We're at episode 22. I have two more episodes to get through with Helck. I'm almost fucking done with Helck. Can you goddamn believe it? I'm almost goddamn done with this anime. Jesus Christ. This is episode 22. One of the evil humans is fighting, or the controlled human is fighting with a demon. There's a lot of... This is the funniest fucking fight because they are like fight flirting. This feels like early Helck. It is pretty fucking funny. Ito might be breaking free from the king's spell. So they're like trying to figure out a way to help him do that, because that would be fucking great if he could break free. Asta is talking. Basically, they're like with Sharamai, and they're like, look, we're going to go to the king. Like, basically, they're going to go together. Because Sharamai wants to get reunite with Helck and Kless and everybody else, and just like get back together with everybody. And she has no idea what's been happening, apparently. She's completely clueless to everything that's going on. And does not know that Kless is dead, and that Helck is a wanted man and working with the demons. And then they go visit the king. And apparently, Sharamai is that snow that they saw previously. That's the culprit. That's the weird snow powers they saw before, that we saw in flashback. And then suddenly she's ill, and she's wondering, like, why did this happen? And then they enter into the king's domain. They just enter the domain there. Which triggers her control. So then they're fighting each other. She faints. Rafid shows up and has help, because of course he does, because he's evil garbage. So of course he has help. I gotta finish building this here. Let's see. Azura's fighting Mikaros because he's got to lose. Basically, this is real bad for the demons. And basically, they're like, look, if the king dies, then all of these people will go out of control. So there's literally no winning. And it would be bad for everyone if the king dies. So it's just like, this is a seemingly no-win situation, which is great. I mean, hopefully there is a win, but right now it seems like there is no win and there is no good outcome for this, which, sucks. That's a big bummer. All right, so we need 3. Let me just pull all these pieces out before I start going through again, talking about the rest of the show. And I need 17, and then I need C2. They're going to retreat to prevent more casualties, because a bunch of the winged knights that were super strong humans but still look like humans, they all transform into giant monsters, hideous looking, like just awful looking nightmare monsters. So that's fucking obviously not good. And then, so they're just longer, and then basically like, hey, you fucked up by capturing these knights because now these knights are going to destroy you from the inside. Hyra escapes, which means that he's broken free enough. So obviously they don't like, because he had an affinity for awakening, so he is not turned into a monstrosity, and in fact he's kind of woken up. And then Idol gets attacked with the Mind Break spell. And then runs away. And then, let's see. Mikros feels that Helck won't be a match for him. This is like, he's not worried about Helck, which seems weird, but sure. Mainly because he's just like, I'm going to have him fight. Look, I'm going to have him fight one of his former friends. He won't be able to do anything. And then Helck arrives. So we're going to have Helck. Helck is finally going to do fucking something other than just have flashbacks and also have fun like he did in the beginning of the series. Again, I am continuing this somewhat out of spite. I have been over this show for like most of this second half of the season, but I am now unfortunately pot committed. I do want to see how it resolves. There is some good animation in this. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I think I was sold a bad bill of goods because it was so silly and fun in the beginning. And the flirting that happened at the beginning of this episode was the funniest thing that's happened in fucking months. So, yeah. And then Bullbuster. All right, I'm gonna go real fast through the first episode because there's not a lot to talk about the first episode. Shit's hitting the fan, and This anime is so by the goddamn books that, hey, did you think that maybe this secret that was happening, the company that wanted things to be kept a secret, Shioda Chemical, did you think maybe they're the bad guys? Because the answer is yes, they're the bad guys. They're trying to get an aquatic robot. The intern, Namori, uses some apps and is kind of learning some stuff and trying to modernize stuff around the company. Shioda Chemical wants to provide additional funding. Basically, they want to help sell some designs that they have created, and then also keep things quiet about what's going on that fucking island, for sure. They meet the managing director, Joya, who's going to be taking a look at the company. A giant beast alert goes off, and he's like, I would love to see you exterminate a giant beast. And they're like, okay. And then Muto, even though he is very unexperienced using Bullbuster, is able to defeat the giant beast. And then Joya watches is like, all right, I'll give you some funding. But that means that Nanodome, the company, they're going to have to be folded into the chemical. So this small business is going to have a merger take place to get funding. This is not a grant. This is a merger, which I could tell you probably is bad. And then they're going to be focusing on dealing with giant beasts. And they're like, all right. And Arumi is the only one who is like, hey, maybe merging with a corporation like that's on shaky ground is a bad thing. And everyone's like, no, this is going to be cool. So we know it isn't. But here's the thing. The next episode, again, I'm an episode behind on the show. I'm going to try to get caught up, but I'm an episode behind. But let me tell you about this next episode, the introduction of the third vehicle. Because, I mean, the Bulldover is fun. The Bullbuster fucking whips ass. It's time for the Bullduck. That's right. Their aquatic mech, the Bullduck, which looks very silly. But basically, Okino, who just loves fucking piloting bulls, he's really psyched, except that the Shioda Chemical installed a lock on all of the mechs to prevent unauthorized activation. He's like, well, but I want to pilot these things. That's the whole reason I quit my job as a salesman to work here, is to pilot them. So he's kind of bummed. Let's see. They're reviewing the contract. Uh-oh. Hey, guess what? This company has some bad shit in the contract. They're going to remove Muto from frontline duties, even though Muto saved the day in the previous episode. It's like, why is that in the contract? Sorry, let me just get this connected here. Working on the legs here. As always, the first one is always a little weird, and then it makes sense. And the later ones, again, the demonic form of this does kind of make things weird. What else do I want to say? Okay, so meanwhile, the scientist that they've worked with, whose dog turned out to be a giant beast, and which led us to understand that the giant beasts are mutated animals. She meets with Arumi, and she's just like, okay, there's some kind of electrogenetic, that's the term they use. I wrote it down. I double checked. It's electrogenetic bacteria in the lake in the middle of the island where they found some of these monsters that's turning wildlife into giant beasts. And apparently some data has been leaked. And Arumi got leaked that, and he's like, you got to give that data back. Turns out the true cause of the giant beast is guess what, friends? It's nanomachines. It's the HR-E, the HRE, which is a nanomachine developed by Shioda Chemical to produce genetically modified electrogenetic bacteria. Basically, they wanted to make smart machine bacteria for dissolving things, which is supposed to be safe, but unfortunately, HRE has a reaction to the coral in the water, which infects living creatures and mutates them into giant beasts. So it turns out that the unseemly chemical company that was helping to pay for this company that was managing the beasts in secret and keeping things a secret turns out to be evil, and they're the cause of it, because of course they are. They want to try to investigate the chemical company, and everyone's arguing about what they want to do, because they're like, look, if we knowingly have this leaked information, we could be liable for it. We could get the whole company in trouble. Again, a small business, and the company owner, Tajima, just locks himself in his office, and we'll find out more in the next episode. So yeah, the evil company turns out to be an evil company. Weird, right? And they were trying to invest and keep this company going, our company going along. So our small business is not only dealing with monsters, but also dealing with a company that is trying to merge with them to effectively silence them. And then who knows what they'll do with the technology of the bulls. Anyway, Bullduck got introduced, and that rules. And that's all the anime I want to talk about. We have some time left in the stream before I got to go. So I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What's got you interested? What's got you going? I always like hearing from you about what you're up to. Games or movies or TV shows or whatever. Books. Whatever you're interested in right now. I do love hearing from you. I'll tell you, and while I give you a chance to write things down into chat and type them out. Let me fix that there. I'll tell you, I've been playing Hearthstone. I've been reading a lot of manga and playing Hearthstone. That has kind of been my it. I don't have a new big game to play. I found a couple new mods for Persona 4 Golden. So for the stream in 2 Tuesdays from now, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, when I play Persona 4 Golden with mods for the Christmas, where we defeat the antagonist and have a Christmas party with our girlfriend and hang out. I will make sure that I have. Is this on wrong? This is on wrong. Wait. How is this? Okay, so it goes like that. All right. I had this flipped the wrong way. I have now flipped it the right way. So now I can add armor to it. Yeah, I'm playing Hearthstone. Actually, I'm going to be playing Hearthstone on stream on Tuesday. I haven't done that in a long time. I put it up as an option in my poll for my $10, my $3, $5, and $10 patrons about what they'd like me to see on the Patron's Choice episode. And they chose Hearthstone. So I'm going to figure out my decks. I'm going to probably try to add one more interesting deck because it's been a while since I played. But one of the decks that I played the last time I streamed is the same kind of deck. So I'd like to at least add one more. But I still have some good scam decks. We'll play some good scam decks and see if we can get some easy wins. And that'll be Tuesday. So that'll, I think, be pretty fun to do that. And yeah, I've been reading a lot. Me, I'm always reading manga and hanging out. And, I'm getting ready to record for next, because it'll be not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, my anime top 10 of the year. I have prep work to do for that because that's the most prep I do of just getting things together and doing my write-ups, because I also have to write up the 10 things, a little blurb about each one, why it's my number 6 game anime versus why it's my number 1. So that takes longer than most prep I do, which is usually like the week of. So I've gotten a head start on that. And I think that's about it. So now I'm going to look to see what y'all wrote in chat. Lord Crashing says, I saw The Boy and the Heron in theater, which is very good. I'm glad. That's the #1 movie in the box office, in a fairly weak box office, but still, that's fucking cool. Lastbrick says, I'm trying to watch the G-Reco movies as they go away after this weekend, but they just aren't doing anything for me. Yeah, I love that they exist and are available for people, but I totally understand if it's not hitting you, it's not hitting you, and I can understand that. Also, Lord Crashing finished up the new episodes of My Hero Academia that were up on Hulu, and you're glad that Deku got some support from his classmates to keep him out of the dark place he was heading to. Yeah, he was getting a little too vigilante, and they already got a fucking What If series on that, so they don't need to see that. Yes, but yes, by any means necessary, Deku is not what you want for the good boy. So him having some touching scenes with some people and some people coming out of the woodwork to step up was nice to see, because our boy deserves good things. Our boy Deku needs some support out there. So I'm glad he's getting it. The way Deku's costume changes over that arc was cool. Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes anime like that gets away from the main character and kind of like falls in, like, mangaka often can fall in love with other characters like that they've created, their support characters. One Punch Man is a great example of that, where it's very clear the mangaka at some point is just like, I don't fucking know how to write this guy right now. I made a cool anti-hero. I'm going to explore that anti-hero. I'm just going to put all my fucking focus in this anti-hero. But yeah, it is fun when they're like, wait, the reason I started writing this is still a cool character. So here we go. Ghost Valve was on the last part of Lies of P. You finished up the HG Crossbone X1. Hell yeah. And you're working on the Baer Pente. Nice. Those are fun kits. Cool. Lots of stickers, but all those stickers are cool. And then work functions that I had to travel for earlier this week. You had work functions. Okay, yeah. Sometimes you gotta. Let's see. So which part goes up? This piece goes up here. I'm going to panel line this all once it's all complete and together here. Which just requires me. I'm going to panel line this separate and then attach it because it'll just be easier. But this just pops in like that. This is basically the side skirt. The side skirt is just attached to the leg, which I think is neat. And then Dirty says, finished watching all of Numbers. Also watched the 3 specials for Doctor Who. Was psyched for the Monhan Wilds announcement at the Video Game Awards. Oh yeah, more Monster Hunter. Happy for y'all. Monster Hunter, I've tried like 3 or 4 times. I've tried the one that everyone liked. I've tried the ones that, true fans, this is theirs. Or, well, if you're on mobile, you got to go with this, handheld. You got to go with this one. I have tried it numerous occasions. Monster Hunter has never stuck with me. It's never gotten its claws into me. But I'm always happy when people who really like a series get more of the thing that they like. It's awesome. Happy for you. Indeed. And also, Ghost Valve says, woo, more Monhun. Yes. Happy for you. Hope it whips ass. Hope it's everything you want it to be. And it's cool as hell. The feet are just 2 parts. The feet aren't even their own step. They're just like, or they're a step, but just like not a segment. Just like, and then you put the feet together. No lines to panel. All right, so let's panel line the leg here before we wrap things up. Is there anything else that I need to tell you? Am I doing anything else? Not really. Like I said, I'm mostly just reading and prepping for things, trying to get some stuff done. Hearthstone on Tuesday. Obviously, Monday, I will complete this kit on Monday. 99% sure. Because on Monday, I have the leg, the waist, which includes a sticker, the shield, and the lance. because it doesn't even have a gun. This kid's only got the lance and the shield because it's a little knightly friend. So we're gonna finish this kit up. We might even get started on Mjorne, which is the next thing that I'll be building. That's right. I'll tell you, the people that hung out this long on the stream, be it watching this on VOD or watching it live. Hello. Mjorne is the kit that I got for my Amazon wish list. So we have Suletta, now I'll have Mjorne, and our couple, our pilot couple here, will of course be hanging out together on display soon. So thank you to the anonymous person, or the person that said they did not want their name included and mentioned. Thank you for that. That is, I have this here. There'll be a video up on it for my wish list. Not wish list. The mailbag video will be up tomorrow, and then that'll be the next thing that I build. So we're building from the wish list. It's always fun. And yeah, that's the next thing that I'll be building after that. But I'm going to focus on finishing the Sigrun. Because I should. Because, all I got to do is the leg and the waist and the shield and whatever. And I got 2 more stickers. So shouldn't take too long to do. Especially since I didn't do the neck stickers. Made my life a little easier that way. Dirty says, I just found out that not counting DLCs, I finished 30 games this year, which is a new best. That is a lot. That's a lot, Dirty. Dr. Fart MD, great username, says, hey, Pat, best looking trailer in your opinion at the Game Awards. I mean, it might be Monster Hunter. Because that looked fucking pretty cool, even though it's not necessarily my game. I'm gonna actually look this up. Let me look up. Let me go to Kotaku here and look at the list here. Fashion. No, that's not what I want. Nope, I don't want it. I want Kotaku. Give me the list. Give me the list. What? No, come on. Kotaku Weekend Guide. No, this is. I want the. They had a write up here in the news. Everything we saw at the Game Awards. That's what I want. Pony Island 2 one was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Pony Island 2 is coming out. I'll say that. It's not that. I mean, look. Do I think Big Walk was the most impressive demo? No. Big Walk is pretty cool, though. The Untitled Goose Game folks making a cooperative game. Big Walk is pretty great. Persona 3 Reload. Let's see. World of Goo 2 existing is pretty cool. I don't know if the trailer is my favorite, but that existing is pretty cool. No Rest for the Wicked. Yeah, it seemed all right. Sparkle. Making a Dragon Ball Z game that's not a sequel to Fighter Z feels like a big no thanks for me, dog. Like, if you're going to make another Dragon Ball Z game, make it Fighter Z 2. Like, come on. What are we doing here? Oh, I got a panel on this whole thing. I didn't do that yet. Let's see. What else came out here? I know a couple people that worked on Jurassic Park Survival. I don't know if they have made it public that they worked on it, but I know 2 people that have worked on Jurassic Park Survival, and I am happy for them that their game is coming out. I thought that trailer looked pretty great. I'm not sure what you do with Dragon Ball FighterZ Z2. I mean, I think you just put in more super characters and you just make a weird you make a weird one-player story mode. I don't know. You just do more of it because it was great and sold a fuck ton of copies and was well regarded. So I don't know. I don't think you have to do much with it. Wasn't that. I'm just looking through all of the trailers here by name because I watched all of them, of course. It wasn't that. Wasn't that. Wasn't that. I do want to give a shout out question mark. Skull and Bones use the Weatherman. And that's fucking funny because that just like there was a point where using that song would have been in the moment 3 years ago. And so it's very fucking funny to me because that feels like Skull and Bones. Hey, good for them that game is going to come out. But that was very fucking funny. You know what it is? Hey, sorry, I forgot about this game because there were a lot of new games. Here is, to answer your question, Dr. Fart MD, to me, the trailer that I was like, yeah, about most is Blade. Arcane is making a Blade game. That whips ass. That is some cool shit. Even if you take out, like, fucking you should take out all of the Marvelness of it, right? Forget Marvel Blade. Dishonored's Arcane's Blade. Like, that whips ass. That was the one that I was like, oh fuck yeah. So that's my answer. It's fucking Blade. Gonna slice up a whole lot of fucking vampires. And jump all over the place. Dash all over the fucking place. And kill vampires. That sounds rad as fuck. Anyway, that is going to do it for tonight's stream. That's how I'm going to end things tonight. Is by saying fuck yeah to that. Because I am very excited about it. We are going to raid. That is how we end things around here. Every stream is we do a raid. We're going to go find somebody doing some cool shit out there and then go send them some love. It's the least we could do. I want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Thursday stream bummed me out. This did not bum me out. So thank you very much for that. It's very appreciated. I hope you had a good time. I hope you come back on Monday when I finish the Sigrun and maybe start the new kit, but most likely just finish that, but maybe both. I don't know. And of course, some more anime and video games and manga because it's Manga Monday, so we'll have to talk about some manga. Who should we raid? Who's doing shit? I don't even know if I know. I don't remember who this is. Why? Somebody I'm following, and I'm like, I have no idea who this is, which is weird. Why don't I remember who this is? Oh, I know what this is. Okay, I had to follow it. It's a channel I followed for a contest. I was like, why don't I know what this is? That's why. My friend Liz is streaming. We're gonna go hang out with Liz Star. Liz Star's very good people. They're very good goblin. And someone just raided them, so we're gonna join in the party and raid them as well. So feel free to come along on this raid. I hope you do. Hope you come back on Monday for good times and hanging out. Liz is playing, trying to get some Chivos in some old games, so that's fun. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you come along on the raid. Hope you come back on Monday for more model kit building and hanging out. You've been fantastic. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.